I am straight, right? All right, cool. Let's clap it up. Yahbashim Yashai Brakatha to all the brothers. Yashmalatham Bashim Yashai to all the sisters. We're the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yahanna. Since 1969, we've been teaching the truth of this Bible. And the truth is that the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians are the true Jews, and that our oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of.
Right.
1 West is home of the truth. If it's not coming from Commanding General Yahanna, if you're not under Commanding General Yahanna's authority, you are not in the truth. Whatever you've heard that is not coming from Commanding General Yahanna, it is not the truth. 1 West is home of the truth. Why? Because the scripture says is one body, not many truths, not many bodies. It's one body. You know what I'm saying? 1 West is home of the truth. I saw a little clip today. Salakia. I saw a little clip today of the head of a purple group got interviewed by another brother, another brother in the world, and he flat out asked the question: has any of your members ever committed a crime? You know what I'm saying? And this dude, who's supposed to be a leader of a fake group, flat out said no, lied to the people's face. Kind. So we're gonna get into tonight. What we're gonna get into tonight is proof that the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. How am I gonna say that with such a bold stance? It's because everything that I'm going to tell you is coming from the scripture. It's coming from our records, and it's showing us everything that was written aforetime is for our learning. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to show you how the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. How is the oppressor so wicked on the earth, and why he does what he does to the Lord's chosen people? It's all written, recorded in our history. Everything that is happening to us today has happened to us in the past, and we wrote it. We had it was written down so that we can remember things. You know what I'm saying? The oppressor always says, if if I'm not getting it correct, but he's saying you're doomed. If you don't know the history, you're doomed to repeat it. Is that the right way they're saying it? You're doomed to repeat that. If you don't remember your history, you're doomed to repeat it.
They concept so many words.
It's yeah. So I'm paraphrasing that phrase, but everybody knows what I'm saying. And one of the reasons why they want to disconnect us from our heritage, our true heritage, is so that we do not remember who we were and how we're supposed to be. And if we don't remember who we are and how we're supposed to be, they get to rewrite our history. And if they rewrite our history, then all of a sudden, Christmas is a celebration for us. Thanksgiving is celebration. New Year's is a celebration for us. When in fact, what it was, New Year's, Christmas, or any of these pagan holidays, is not for us.
Right.
It never has been, and it never will be. So if they get to rewrite history, our history, they get to put in anything that they want to put in our history and say this is what we're supposed to do. But the truth of the matter is, everything that they told us is a lie. Everything. I don't give a damn if it's snowing outside, it's a blizzard. If they tell me that it's cold outside, I'm gonna go outside and check for myself. You know what I'm saying? I need to see it for myself. If it's coming from the oppressor, I'm to the point. If it comes to the oppressor, they tell me any damn thing, I need to verify it for myself. Everything they say is a lie. Right. Everything they taught us about ourselves is a lie. Is an absolute lie. And the reason why we are in this condition today is because they stripped us of they beat our heritage out of us. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's seeing Kunta Kinte was actual historical, thing that actually happened. I don't know if it actually happened, but the spirit of that scene happened time and time and time again. Happened time and time again. How do I know this? Because we call ourselves, by our oppressors' names. You know what I'm saying? We try and suck up to them. We try and be them. And the reason why we try and be them, because if we were really truly ourselves, we would be punished. How do I know this? Look at what's going on with Kanye West. Look at what's going on with Kyrie Irving. Look at what went on with what's that brother's name that had about 11 babies? Nick Cannon. Look at what happened. What's going on to Deshaun Watson? Look at what's going on to all the brothers that are famous, that have something to lose, who actually said something about who they really are, who we really are. You know what I'm saying? Even if they was just scratching the surface, because that's all they really were doing, was just scratching the surface of who we are. They were ostracized. They were, canceled and beaten into submission. The way they did it now is no real difference than the way they did it, back when we were in physical chains. It's no real difference. They beat us into submission. They had their way with us, and if we did not say the things that they wanted us to say, how the way they wanted us to say it, then we would suffer the consequences. And being, as we were lifted up in their kingdom, they would go ahead and then take away our position in their kingdom. But I'm here to tell you that, Commander Joe Yahanna has raised men. You know what I'm saying? Priests and prophets of the Most High, where we don't give a goddamn about any position this kingdom has to offer us. Right. Do you know what brothers went through or went through just to say the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of? Right. Do you understand what had to be put on the line? You know what I'm saying? Just like General Muhammad has said time and time again. Kyrie Irving, he says, black people are Jews. He didn't even say anything. What he said, he posted a link. You know what I'm saying? He posted a link that said the Jewish people aren't the real Jews. And he was at risk of losing his career. Well, a rich man not being able to earn millions the way he had before he posted that link, that's a hit. That is a hit. But he's still rich. If he doesn't get one more game check, one more NBA check, one more endorsement check, he's still a rich man. But what about that dude that's working down at Walmart? What about that brother who's fixing your cars? What about that sister who is not administering you, but checking you in to the hospital, or the teacher at your kid's school? What about if they say the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of? They lose a lot more than what Kyrie Irving has lost, and all the Akim and Akwati in the school has put all of that up to for the chance to say that the real Jews are black. You know what I'm saying? Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian. They've put up far more than what Kyrie Irving has lost. Kyrie Irving has had potentially lost 30-something million dollars, almost $40 million. But he had made, I want to say, something like $90 million already at this point. He's still a rich man. But what about that, that brother who's living paycheck to paycheck? If that brother goes through one, they say, statistics says that the average American is one major catastrophe away from insolvency. Or what do I mean by that? One major thing away from one major incident away from being homeless. If your car breaks down, if you have a medical emergency and you can't work, if you catch COVID, you know what I'm saying? You get a divorce. Your baby mama put you on child support. Any of these things that happens to damn near everybody in the US, but it more so happens to us more frequently and more often, has more of an effect on us. Now, if we go ahead And if we survive all of that stuff or avoid all of those instances, and then just to come in and say, you know, the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. I know a brother who had a good slave, you know what I'm saying, who really didn't have to worry about different things. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have to worry about paying his bills because that slave, you know, put food on the table and clothes on his back where he didn't have to worry about other things. The second he said the white man, the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of, he lost that slavery. He lost that slavery. And then, you know, times was hard for that brother. You know what I'm saying? Times was hard for that brother, just all because he says the real Jews are black. And he was adamant about that. Why? Because he found out the truth when the oppressor was telling us all along that we were nothing but super predators and thugs and nothing but gang members and you know, rebel rousers and whatnot. When they told us that we were the scum of the earth, but when in fact we were supposed to be in charge of this planet. And I said that word very, very specifically. We were supposed to be in charge of this planet. That leaves nothing unturned. We're supposed to be in charge of everything. And because he said that you know, we are the real Jews, he was fired from that slavery. What about that brother? What about that brother? He was no Kyrie Irving. He was not getting nowhere near Kyrie Irving money. But he has lost so much just for the simple fact of him saying who we really are. Now, what type of people would do that to another people? They find out who they really are, and then you take everything that they have from them just for speaking the truth. Just for speaking the truth. Now, like I said, I'm gonna give you proof of who the oppressor is, who the devil that the Bible speaks of is. If you have anything, if there's any questions, comments, or concerns, please type it online. We're gonna get to any question that you have, any comment that you have. You have something?
Come, sir. We have a comment from Lorena Adriana Zapata. To you whom you serve Allah, believe in many wives like other Muslims. The third word is spelled HOLM. I'm not understanding the structure of her sentence.
Mm-hmm.
I get what she's saying. It's, to you whom you serve Allah, believe in many wives like other Muslims.
Salakia. I don't mean to. So, for one, we don't believe in Iraq because that's what the Muslims believe in. We don't believe in Iraq. We believe in the one true power, a living God, a living power, and that living power tells us that we can have more than one woman. Those are not my words. If you don't like that, hey, if you don't like that, you're gonna have to take up with the Most High. You don't be honest with you don't have to like that. The Most High God didn't say I'm gonna give you a set of laws and rules and commandments. If you like them, you know, go ahead, follow them. If you don't, you know, you don't have to follow those laws that you don't like. Nah, he didn't say anything about that. He says these are some commandments, and I'm going to give you. This is the way to rule the earth. If you don't, he didn't say anything about, you know, you liking them. He just told you what to do. He told me what to do. He told all of our people what to do. Now, as far as, you know, believing as the Muslims believe, we don't believe as the Muslims believe. That false prophet Muhammad was the one who copied the Jews of his time, which is the Jews of our time, and the Muslims, you know, polluted our doctrine, and they're copying us. They're the foundation of those, you know, beliefs, those standards comes from our doctrine.
Sorry, sir. Can we say that they bastardized it?
You damn straight. They damn straight bastardized it. And according to Islam, they say you can have up to 4 wives, when that has nothing to do with our laws. If you want more than 4 women, a man can have more than 4 women. How do I know this? How many women did Solomon have?
It's like, is there 700?
Nah.
More than that.
He had more. He had 1,000. He had 1,000 women. He had 700 wives and 300 concubines. He had 1,000 women. Good Lord. Christ compares the kingdom of heaven to having seven women, is it? I want to say it's 10 women, where there was 5 women that were 10 bridesmaids. 5 of them had oil, and the other 5 didn't have oil, waiting for the groomsmen had extra oil in their, their lantern. And they had to go back and get some more oil. But when the groomsmen came, he took those 5 women that was prepared and ready, and those other women was just left assed out. You know what I'm saying? The kingdom of heaven is described as 7 women taking hold of 1 man. Now let's get some scripture of proof of what I'm saying. You had some?
Yeah, it's like Officer Shapat checking in. Shalom, y'all. He said 10 bridegrooms.
10 bridegrooms. Okay.
But he had a comment too.
So. Let's hear what he's had to say.
All right, he says Islam is a very bad, bastardized version of the Bible.
Damn straight.
The name Allah comes from the Hebrew Elohim, which means the power, and is plural. That's right.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Everything that everybody else does is a bastardized version of our records. You know what I'm saying? Give me Deuteronomy 21:15.
Okay.
Give me Deuteronomy 21:15. Now, if you don't know, I believe that's the sister who's commenting on this about having multiple women. Deuteronomy is where it's part of where we have where Israel is actually getting our laws. You know what I'm saying? So you can find a majority of our laws in from Genesis to Deuteronomy, the so-called Torah, the 5 books of Moses. A lot of our laws are here. But it's not the only place where you can find the laws. The laws are throughout the whole entirety of the Bible, from Genesis to Exodus. From Genesis to Revelations. You know what I'm saying? So this is just a smidgen, a small piece of where you can find some of the laws. But if you want to get a start, first thing you did was correct, which was come to the Israelite School Universal Practical Knowledge to learn your heritage and learn what it is to be an Israelite. You know what I'm saying? Most Christians don't even know this. And the ones that do teach otherwise, because their father, Satan, had taught them something different, something otherwise, when it is really not, has nothing to do with us. Monogamy has nothing to do with us. Having one man having only 1 woman has nothing to do with us. And this is according to the Most High God. Now let's read what our laws tell us about multiple women, a man having multiple women.
Come. Deuteronomy chapter 21 verse 15. If a man have 2 wives.
If a what?
If a man have 2 wives.
So like I said, what we're going through is the law. This is a law that the Most High gave Moses and what Moses had given to us. And you want to know why it wasn't the Most High giving it to us? Because the first couple of laws that the Most High was giving us damn near scared us to death, scared the whole nation to death. And the nation was like, hold up, God, Salakia, if we could, can you just stop talking for a hot second? Moses, you need to go and talk to the Most High Get the laws from him, because if he keeps talking, we are going to die of fright. Right. We're going to die of fright. So please, if you could, please go ahead and speak to the Most High God. And then once he gives you everything that he's talking about, then you come on back down from the mountain and then give us the laws. Most High God was talking to the whole nation, and the whole nation damn near died of fright. So that's why, you know, this is where Moses is talking, right? So he's saying, what, you got something?
I think we might be able to get back to it. It's just chat stuff.
Okay.
We can get back to it.
Okay. No sweat.
Continue, sir?
Yeah, continue.
All right, come. Deuteronomy chapter 21, verse 15. If a man have 2 wives.
Now, if a man has 2 wives, which meaning it didn't say a man can only have 1 wife. So we're about to break down a law saying, showing you how to deal with more than one of your women, more than 1 rib, more than 1 wife. So he's saying if a man has 2 wives, keep going.
Come. 1 beloved.
Okay, 1 you absolutely love, right?
And another hated.
Now this goes back to saying to cut the Christians, where they say, you know, if you don't love a woman, then you can put her away. This is a law governing how you operate with having 2 wives, 1 that you absolutely love and the other that you hate. If anybody has been in any type of a relationship, there are times when you're not just seeing eye to eye, but the feelings for each other is just not what it used to be. Not what it used to be. You know what the Most High God says about that? Oh well, you made a covenant, and I'm going to make sure you honor that. You know, that's that saying, you know, that the world has, till death do us part, when you go into a marriage agreement. You know what I'm saying? Those wedding vows, till death do us part. You know where that comes from? That comes, like I said, everything the world does comes from the scripture, comes from our heritage, our records. That's how the way marriage is supposed to be. Till death do you part. You want to leave that man, you want to leave that woman, you want to leave that man. Only way out is through death. Now that does not mean you kill somebody, because Christians will go over and make something out of nothing. That does not mean you go ahead and end someone's life. That means you are to be with them until one of you dies. Now, if a man dies, or if a husband dies, that's the only way she is allowed to get another husband. That is the only way she is allowed to get another husband. If a man wants to put away his wife, he absolutely cannot put away his wife. If he doesn't want to deal with her, he cannot not deal with her. If you know what I mean. You have to deal with your woman until death do you part. The only time you're not going to deal with her anymore is when she's not alive anymore. And that, like I said, once again, that does not mean you go and end that life. That just means you are going to keep your word that you gave to the Most High. How is you keeping your word? How are you keeping your word? You're not putting your wife away. Woman, you're not putting your husband away. So he's saying, this scripture is saying, if a man has 2 wives, 1 is beloved and 1 is hated, and if he hates his woman, that means he still has her.
Right.
She is still his woman. She is still his rib. She is still his wife.
Sir, because hate is an action. She has to be in that area for him to hate her. Because if she's gone, how can he hate her if she's not there?
Nah, this nigga still hate their exes. Nah, there's people who absolutely hate, you know, a woman who they're not with. There's women who absolutely hate a man who she is not with. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? That I wouldn't say that. No sweat. Let's keep reading this precept.
Come. Deuteronomy chapter 21, verse 15. If a man have 2 wives, one beloved and another hated, and they have borne him children, both the beloved and the hated, and if the firstborn son be hers that was hated.
So it's saying if a man has 2 wives, one is loved and one is hated, and they both have children, both the one that he absolutely loves and adores and cherishes, she has a child, and the one that he absolutely hates and admonishes and you know cannot stand, she has a child as well. Read that last part again. And if the first what?
Come. And if the firstborn son be hers that was hated.
And if the firstborn son be hers that hated, because in our tradition, what we're supposed to do is pass our inheritance on down to the firstborn son. Not to our wives, you know what I'm saying? Not to whomever we so it was supposed to be to that firstborn son. You understand what I'm saying? That's our heritage, right? You have something?
Come. We have a question, sir.
Okay.
All right.
Is it on topic?
Come, sir.
Okay.
We have Kumbaya Yuda Audrey Net. So my ex is a serial killer, but I'm not allowed to divorce him until he dies.
Well, goddamn.
That's a rough one.
Well, goddamn. If he's a serial killer, how would you know he's a serial killer? That's I would say that. And if you know he's a serial killer because he got caught and he's serving a sentence, is that what you're saying, or are you presenting a hypothetical question? Respond to that. Is this something personal? Is this something actual that's going on? Because I'm gonna give you counsel on that as well. If you could type that in. If this is actual, you know what? You don't type that in. Slack it. Don't type that in. I don't want you to type that in. Don't type that in. I'll answer the question as such. If something like that is actually happening, and you know the husband, and you don't know about it, but you know about it by the police coming to your house and arresting your husband, saying he's charged with the murder of blah 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 blah. Right? You didn't know anything about your husband, you know, killing people until your husband is in jail, right? Because for whatever reason, you just absolutely did not know. And the question it would be is, would you stay with your husband after that? According to the, I would say, come into the school and get counsel. You know what I'm saying? I would say come into the school and get counsel. Now, it is absolutely just and right to protect your own life. You know what I'm saying? It is absolutely just and right to protect your own life. This man has shown that there is some screws loose, that he is not all there. But I would say come into the school and get counsel on that. Now let's lessen the charges. You know what I'm saying? Let's lessen the charges. Let's say he was a narco trafficker. You know what I'm saying? He was a street pharmaceutical sales representative, and he got caught with major weight. You know what I'm saying? They put him in with the YSL RICO charges. You know what I'm saying? That as a supplier. And he's going to go away for 50 years. They're giving him no less than 50 years. He can get out in 30 on good behavior. Now you're I guess you're saying, can I divorce him for that? And the answer is no. No, you cannot leave your husband for that. No. He's in jail. You made a decision to, and most of the time, a lot of the time, there's only a few instances where someone like really changes. You know what I'm saying? Who didn't show who they were in the beginning of the relationship. And I've nowadays, in today's time, let me put it this way. According to the Bible, sex is marriage. Right. According to the Most High God, sex is marriage. There isn't even in today's time, to not in the day now, the day now in time, there really is no courtship. There really is no vetting of each other. Sex comes first in this day and age. You see somebody, you meet up with somebody, someone slides in your DMs, and a week later, a month later, whatever, now you're going over there and seeing them, checking them out, seeing what's to them, having a dinner or two, going out to the club a time or two, and now you in each other's beds. That's really no vetting time frame, no vetting period. You know, there really is no, or you go and find somebody and you know, you see them out in the club or whatnot, and you wind up in each other's bed later, a few hours later. That's what happens, you know, now in this time. When it's totally opposite, when you're supposed to vet somebody through and through. Why? Because once you lay with them, that is marriage, according to the Most High God. And if you lay with them, you are to be with them forever. Now, if you see something in them that says, you know, it screams narco trafficker, you know what I'm saying? Or it flies off at the handle because, you know, they have a temper, or they are dependent on drugs, alcohol, gambling, a whole slew of lists of things. If you see that, why would you tie yourself to them for the rest of your life? You understand what I'm saying? Why would you do that? That doesn't make any sense, unless you believe that you can absolutely leave them if times get tough and times get rough, and they're not presenting to you who they were in the beginning, because in the beginning it's a mask. They're presenting their best selves in the very beginning. Why? Because they want what you got. They absolutely want what you got. So they're presenting the best person that they're going to be is in the very beginning. Sooner or later, that face, that mask is gonna have some chips in it. They're gonna have to take that mask off because they can't hold that up for so long. And then you'll really see who they are. And when you see who they really are, at that point, you can make a judgment on, is this person going to lead me, and can I follow this person? It was a comedian that said you shouldn't be with a woman who doesn't listen to you. You know what I'm saying? What else he says, if you're how can you save the life of a woman that will not listen to you? That is part of the duty of a man, of a husband. You know what I'm saying? It's to lead you so that you ain't gonna go off. But if if this dude gets high all the time, all his life is about getting high. His life is about drinking. His life is about gambling. His life is about that thug life, quote unquote. You know what I'm saying? That needs respect in the streets. Put some respect on my name, or I'm gonna end you. If you following, behind someone like that, there's only one possible outcome, and the outcome is not going to be the outcome that you like. So the times nowadays, we got this stuff all backwards. We first get married, and then we vet the person, and then later on we're like, you're not the man I thought you was, or you're not the woman that I thought you was. Why? Because now you got a kid. and she talking to you all kinds of ways in front of the kid and in front of her friends and in front of anybody who's listening, doing anything that she wants to do, because no one can tell her what to do. No one can tell her what to do. Is that the type of woman you want? Woman is the type of man that you want, that has such a short fuse. Before you can even try and diffuse the situation, he done blew up and made a life-altering decision that can affect you, that can affect him, you, your family, your immediate family, your kids, there's people living in your house, and in your whole family in entirety. Would you want to be with a powder keg like that? No. I remember when I was in I ain't even gonna say that. Is there anything else on that?
No, sir.
I hope I answered that sister's question. Let's go back to this this verse, if we could, Baba Kashar.
Come.
Are there any other questions?
No, sir. Deuteronomy chapter 21, verse 15. If a man have two wives, one beloved and another hated, and they have borne him children, both the beloved and the hated, and if the firstborn son be hers that was hated, verse 16, then it shall be, when he maketh his sons to inherit that which he hath, that he may not make the son of the beloved firstborn before the son of the hated.
So this law is explaining to you, just because you love that woman more than just because you love one wife more than you love the other wife, it does not negate the law of inheritance. They both bore you sons, but the one that you hated more, the one that you hate, that is a firstborn son. The inheritance needs to go to him. Just because you have, strong feelings for both women in the opposite direction has no bearing on what you need to do, what you need to do according to the law. The law says the oldest son, the firstborn son, gets the inheritance. It's because you love that other woman who bore you the son second. You cannot give the inheritance to that boy. There's a whole bunch of other, precepts as far as, man having another woman. Let's go. Where is it? Is it Samuel? I want to say it's. Hold on. Salakia. Where we're going to go to. Hold on. Hold on, Salakia. Bear with me 1 second. I like this because this one's coming from the Most High God. Can't nobody. And Christians love to say, God's word is the same yesterday, today, and forever.
Right.
So give me 2 Samuel 11. Let's see what that says. 2 Samuel 11.
Come.
Hold on. Let me see where you're going. Give me start at 12. 2 Samuel 12. Start at 1.
Come. 2 Samuel chapter 12, verse 1. And the Lord sent Nathan unto David.
Okay.
And he came unto him and said unto him, there were two men in one city, the one rich and the other poor.
So right here, this is a prophet of the Most High God coming unto David, a king, and he's giving him a scenario. Because a lot of times, if someone comes to us and just flat out says, you're wrong because you did this and you're wrong. Our, you know what I'm saying, scripture says we're stiff-necked people. So our nature just say, you know, most of the time we just don't hear it. Brothers in here are different because, you know, if someone gives tells us of a grievance, you know, a lot of times, most of the times, we hear it and we take it in, you know what I'm saying, and we apologize for that offense. But the men in here are not normal. You know what I'm saying? Right. The men in here are 100% not normal. It's just that's just a fact of the matter. Men and women in here are just not normal. So when you're talking about, you know, people in the world, this is sort of normal, you know, because when you, especially if you talking about an offense that someone has done, a lot of times they're not going to hear it. So this prophet is giving a scenario to David about his offense, right? And then he's going to see his reaction. And this has everything to do with multiple wives, right? Keep going.
Come. Verse 2.
And how David went about it the whole wrong way. Keep going.
Come. Verse 2. The rich man had exceeding many flocks and herds.
Right? He had a bunch of stuff.
Verse 3. But the poor man had nothing, save one little ewe lamb, which he had brought and nourished up. And it grew up together with him and with his children.
Right.
It did eat of his own meat and drank of his own cup and lay in his bosom and was unto him as a daughter.
So he said this man had one sheep that he cherished and loved so much that he actually had his own, you know, cup. He drank from his own cup. He you know, set a place for him to eat, and he laid in his bosom. You know what I'm saying? You know how people who have pets and they call them their baby, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Fur baby.
Yeah, the fur baby or whatever, you know what I'm saying? They cherish them. They're not outside pets, you know what I'm saying? If they're dogs, they're not outside dogs, they're inside dogs. And they take absolute good care of them. You know what I'm saying? They have their own, nowadays they have their own Facebook page, they have their own Instagram page, they have their own TikTok, and you know, have their own reaction page or whatnot. They're part of the family. If that dog somehow gets out and gets loose or whatever and they cannot find them, people are paying hundreds or thousands of dollars to have them found again, safe, return in good condition. So this is what this lamb meant to this man. He didn't have much, but he had this lamb, and he took care of this lamb, and he cherished and honored this lamb, right? Where the rich man had a bunch of stuff and it didn't matter to him. You know what I'm saying? Keep going.
Come. Verse 4. And there came a traveler unto the rich man.
All right, so and there came a traveler unto the rich man. In our time, and back in this day, when someone comes to your house, you would prepare a feast for them. That was our custom. You know what I'm saying? You would kill the fatted lamb and you would dress the lamb and you have a feast, you know, wine, drink, you know, fig cakes and all that stuff. You would have if someone came and if there was a traveler that came to your house, right? So this is what happened. Traveler came to this man's house, rich man's house.
Come. And he sped to take of his own flock and of his own herd.
Right? He didn't take out of his, you know, out of the many that he had. What'd he do? Keep going.
Come. To dress for the wayfaring man that was come unto him.
What does it mean to dress? Which means it's to slaughter and to, you know, fix up a meal, a feast. Right. So you're killing the fatted lamb, you're skinning it, you're gutting it, and you're chopping it up or something. You know, a lot of times what they would do is, you know, that the lamb who was just one of like roasting over the fire. You know what I'm saying? Or what they would do is they would you know, cover it in spices and then cover it up and then bake it like that, the whole thing. That's what it means to dress it. Keep going.
Come. but took the poor man's lamb.
He didn't take one of his many. He took the one from this poor man. Right? Keep going. He took it, and it's, listen to the words. He said he took it. He didn't say he paid for it. Offered him a bunch of money. Is a story. At least what this devil said. Sylvester Stallone. He said he was poor when he wrote Rocky, and he had a dog. He said in order for him to write the script, he had to sell his dog, and he sold his dog for, I don't know, a few $100 or something like that. I want to say it was like $1,500 maybe, but it wasn't a lot of money. He wrote it. It got got picked up, and he was able to star in the movie and whatnot. He got some money. He went back to the same guy to buy his dog back. And he said, nah, he had to pay like something like 10 times the amount. I don't know what it was, but he had to pay over and extra, like multiples for what this dude paid for it. But he went ahead and paid that because he loved that dog so much. This is not what David did. He didn't pay for that lamb, for that one lamb that this man absolutely loved. He took it. Just straight up took it. Without permission, without, no negotiation. He just took it. Keep going.
Come. And dressed it for the man that was come to him.
Right.
Verse 5. And David's anger was greatly kindled against the man.
So he was like, man, nah. Ain't no way, boy. Ain't no way, boy. Ain't no effing way, boy. Boy, ain't no way. So he was hot when he heard this. He was like, dead ass? That's what this nigga's doing? That's what we doing out here in the streets. That's what's hot in the streets. Keep going.
Come. And he said unto Nathan, as the Lord liveth, the man that hath done this thing shall surely die.
He was like, yo, as God, that's the saying even now. You know what I'm saying? He says, as the Lord liveth, this dude that did this, he's gonna be put to death. I'm going to have him killed. Keep going.
Come. Verse 6. And he shall restore the lamb fourfold.
And he shall restore him fourfold. He's going, not only is he going to die, but he's going to pay 4 times what that lamb was worth. Fourfold. Keep going.
Come. Because he did this thing. And because he had no pity.
And because not only because he did this thing, but he had no pity. He wasn't even thinking about, how precious this lamb was to this man. He didn't even offer to pay for it. He just took it. He had no pity, no shame. He didn't even try and, repay him after the fact. He had no pity on the man. Keep going.
Come.
Now, what does this have to do with, multiple wives? We're about to get into it right now.
Come. Verse 7. And Nathan said unto David, thou art the man.
So read that part one more time.
Come. Verse 7. And Nathan said to David, thou art the man.
He says, thou art the man. You that nigga. You that rich dude that stole from this poor man who only had one when you could have had a whole ton of things. You had a whole ton of things. And you can get a whole ton more things. But you took from the man who only had one and cherished that one. Right. You that nigga. You the one that should be put to death and paid fourfold. Keep going.
Come. Thus saith the Lord, God of Israel, I anointed thee king over Israel. So
he's cutting him even deeper. He's saying the Lord, say that again. Thus saith the Lord.
Come. Thus saith the Lord, God of Israel.
Right.
I anointed thee king over Israel.
He's saying, thus saith the Lord, God of Israel. I anointed you to be king over Israel, which means you had to be the best of the best. I put you in charge of everything. You had to be, you had to be on your P's and Q's. People are looking at you to do the right thing. We was talking about this earlier. we don't know, and Cap would always tell us this, you don't know who is looking at you.
Right.
You have no idea who is looking at you, and they're waiting on you to fall. Some of them are waiting on you to stumble and do some wicked things so they can point at you and say all those things that you were saying was false because you couldn't even do what you was told. You know what I'm saying? There are people out there looking at it, and that just knowing that should light a fire up on you to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because there are people looking at you. And this dude, David, was king. The Most High appointed him. Most High appointed him to be king over Israel. Keep going.
Come. And I delivered thee out of the hand of Saul.
And I looked out for you. Saul was trying to kill you for years. No, people don't know it. It was a long time that David was on the run, sleeping in caves, sleeping out in the bush. You know what I'm saying? Sleeping in wherever he can rest his head, not having rest. And whenever he had to have the ability to just up and leave and run and just go because there was people after him that was trying to kill him. And Most High God is saying, I delivered you out of the hands of Saul. Saul was dead ass trying to kill you. And because of me, you still here. And this is how you repay me? This is how you thank me? For those of you who don't know, what he's saying is David saw a woman bathing from the palace. He saw this woman. He inquired of this woman, and his advisors told him who it was, and they said she is the wife of one of your soldiers. Right then and there, the conversation should have been done. But no, because he's king and he thinks he can get away with anything, he went and took this woman to be his wife and slept with this woman. And then she got pregnant, and then he tried to hide it by inviting her husband back and sending her husband back to the room, back to his house with wine and lamb and celebration and strong drink and everything, so that in hopes that he would lay with his wife, and then they would cover up the pregnancy. But the man did not do it. He did not fall for it. I am gonna say he did not fall for it. I would say he was more of a soldier, because his brothers that he was around, was out in the field fighting a war. Why would he then go home and be with a woman when his brothers ain't like that? Just that's the spirit of Christ right now, because Christ says he will not partake in strong drink until he comes back. So he's not even, he's in that spirit right here where this slugger, the brother Uriah, was in. And he's saying, my brothers out there fighting. I'm not gonna enjoy this time as my brothers are out there, in on the front line. And when David heard this, he sent him back to the front line and had him killed. Right. And then took his wife, and then now is all covered up, or at least he thought. And that's when Nathan came to tell him about his stuff. Keep going.
Come. Verse 8. And I gave thee thy master's house.
So he gave you your master's house, which was the crown, the palace, right?
Come.
Keep going.
And thy master's wives into thy bosom.
And what?
And thy master's wives.
Spell that word.
W-I-V-E-S.
All right, now, who is physically talking?
Nathan.
Who is he speaking for?
He's speaking for the Most High God.
So if the Most High God said these words, read that from the top one more time.
Come, verse 8. And I gave thee thy master's house.
So the Most High gave David the master's house, which is the palace, right? Keep going.
Come. and thy master's wives.
And he gave you women. Keep going.
Into thy bosom, and gave thee the house of Israel and of Judah.
So he gave you the kingdom, the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. Keep going.
And if that had been too little,
and if all these things that I've given you, you know, the palace, women, wives, and charge over the house of Israel and of Judah, the northern and southern kingdom. If I've given you all this, keep going.
I would moreover.
Hold on. And if it had,
and if that had been too little,
and if that wasn't enough, what was going to happen?
I would moreover have given unto thee such and such things.
What does that mean? If that was too little, moreover, I would give to thee such and such things. What does that mean?
So it means he would have gave him some more.
He would have gave him more. More what?
More rulership.
More rulership. More rulership.
More kingdoms.
More kingdoms.
More women.
More what?
More women.
More what?
More wives. Women. Wives. Straight like that.
Who is Nathan speaking for?
He was speaking for the Most High God of Israel.
So the Most High God of Israel said, I'm going to give you more women.
That's right.
He said, if you didn't have enough women amongst a bunch of other things, I would have given you more.
That's right. So
how in the world is, having more than one woman unrighteous or not of God? When it's saying right here, he's speaking the words of the Most High God. He's saying, if this has not been enough, I would have given you more.
That's right.
I mean, did I not read that right? He did name, the kingdom, which is power. He did name, the palace, right? The master's house. And what else did he name?
The nation.
What else did he name?
His wives.
Wives. Any other questions on multiple women?
No, sir.
Shalom. Shalom. If we have any more questions other than that, any more comments?
So we do have one comment.
Uh-huh.
Orlando Velez. He says, Ephraim in Cleveland, Ohio.
Most High in Christ. Most High in Christ.
Oh, it's like it. We have Dasha Ra. She says, Shalom, Yahweh Shema, Al-Dab, Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Of course, we got Officer Shapat Dayak up in there. What's going on? Would you like to deal with some folly, sir? Because Officer Shapat did deal with the folly.
Let's hear what started off.
All right, Colonel Khan, sir.
Let's hear what started off.
All right, we have Aaron Katolico. Aaron Katolico. He says, the racist Bulak brothers back at it again, I see. I came to learn racism like you guys.
You came to learn racism like us. Okay, hold on. Give me 2nd Ezra 6 and 54.
Okay.
Give me 2nd Ezra 6 and 54. And I also want Deuteronomy 7 and 6 as well. Give me hold the 2nd Ezra's and then get me Deuteronomy 6 and Deuteronomy 7 and 6 first. I want Deuteronomy 7 and 6 first. So he says, he's calling us names, no sweat. All right, but he's saying we're racist. Okay, all right, no sweat. I like how the way people who don't know, Deuteronomy 7 and 6. I like how the way people say, we're racist, and they compare us to, white supremacy. But they don't see how they support racist organizations every day, all the time. How do I know that they support racist organizations all the time? Let's see. Has anybody ever went to a Chinese restaurant? How racist is that? You ever seen a nigga working in there? It's so it's so it's so it's so much that you don't see it, that I actually saw a post of someone actually taking a picture with with a sister, taking an order in a Chinese restaurant. You know what I'm saying? It's like Sasquatch.
Anomaly.
Yeah. You don't see it. Like if you do see it, you have to record it in history. Like, hold up, what in the hell am I watching here? What am I watching here? You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Who spends the most money on fake hair? You know what I'm saying? Them beauty supply stores. Who spends the most money? Us, so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We spend a crap ton of money on that stuff. Who's running those industries? Not us. Quick, simple, and easy. That's not us. That's a racist organization. How is that racist? Why? Because they're leeching off of us. Crown Fried Chicken in New York. You know what I'm saying? They have some variation everywhere else. What's it over here? Up in them Habibi fried chicken spots. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about?
I do not.
Okay, well, in the Northeast, in New York, they have the Crown Fried Chicken places. Matter of fact, yes, you do, because we went there when we was in Philly. Oh. You remember that place where Officer Kazak took us? That Habibi place.
Officer Knock was with us.
No, that was a Philly cheesesteak joint. The other place.
Vaguely, sir.
Well, okay. We went there. I know we went there because it was all of us. We went there, and who you think these Habibi places make better fried chicken than us? Who makes better fried chicken than us? Nobody. Exactly. These people are leeching off of us. Literally leeching off of us. They come to our community and our neighborhoods, and I can't even say our neighborhoods. Why? Because we own nothing. You know who owns the buildings that we live in, that we rent from? You know what I'm saying? The small hats. They own it. The place where we get chicken from. Habibi owns it. The place, the corner store. Habibi owns it. The place where our women go to beautify themselves, get their nails done, get their hair did. Well, not even get their hair did. Well, yeah. Who owns the place that they get their hair did? You know what I'm saying? The braids. Ham. Stinking up the place. Who goes and gets their nails done? Where they get the nails done? Moab. They're leeching off of us. And then they take all of our resources and then spend it and put it in their community. Those are racist organizations. Now, when we say stop going there and go to Maria, where you can get some arroz con pollo, you know what I'm saying? And all that. Because I did tell you about that spot in Philly. The Mexican joint, the I.S.U.P.K joint.
I think that might have been a day I missed. So.
No, I'm talking about when we went up there for this last High Holy Day.
Oh, concert.
I told you about that place, right?
Concert.
Yeah. That's some, man. I'm just thinking back at that time, that food, dude. That stuff it seemed like they had a garden in the back of the joint, and they went and prepared whatever it was preparing from the garden right in the back, and then just served it like, oh, you want some salsa? Give me 10 minutes. Went in the back, pick whatever they need to pick, and then chopped it up and did whatever they did and presented it to you. It was that damn good. Now I compare that to the Habibi place, man. It's night and day. It was night and day. Night and day. It was nothing. It was nothing. Now what we're saying is, go to that I.S.U.P.K spot. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. Go to
that Honduran spot.
Right.
Go to that Benjamite spot.
That's right.
Go to Sharkeisha's spot and get your hair done.
Damn right.
You know what I'm saying? Do that. That's what we're saying. And that's all we're saying. If it costs you $50 to get 2 oxtails, and some rice and peas, well, goddamn it, spend that $50 there. Because if you keep doing that, it's not going to be $50, sooner or later. Why? Because then we're going to get into slaughtering our own meat, and we don't have to pay, absorbent amount of prices just to have someone do something when we can do it on our own.
Concert, Slavic precept. Zephaniah 2:1.
Exactly.
Together.
Gather yourselves together.
Gather together, O nation not desired.
O nation not desired. Exactly. Why? Because no one wants to F with us. Everybody want to be a nigga till it's time to be a nigga.
Right.
All they want to do is leech off of us. Now you saying, we're racist. Let's see what the Most High God has to say. Should I listen to you or should I listen to what the Most High God has to say? Read that from the top. Tell them where you at.
Deuteronomy, the second Ezra, sir.
Deuteronomy.
And if I may, sir, we have another comment that kind of does go with what you're talking about.
What are they saying?
We have Kathy Harden Bowers. Says, get off the white supremacists all the time. That gets old, constantly blaming the white people. So that's good.
Hold on. Read that one more time.
Get off the white supremacists all the time. That gets old, constantly blaming the white people.
That gets old, constantly blaming the white people.
That gets old, constantly blaming the white people.
That gets old, constantly blaming the white people. Okay. If I want to buy a house, start a business, and I need a loan, where would I go to get a loan?
You have to go to the bank.
Who owns banks?
Edomites.
It's a common practice and I just brought this out last week, didn't I?
Right.
I just brought this out last week. It's a common practice. Even if I live up to the standards that they say that I have to live up to, common practice that I can't get that loan. They tell me I need to have a credit score of 750 and have $25,000 in the bank to get a whatever type of loan. If I meet that standard or exceed that standard, they're gonna say, nah, you're too risky. Right. Or they'll say, we'll give you the money, but it's gonna be at a higher interest rate. Right. Now, should I blame the dope boys on the corner for me getting a bad rating, a bad loan at the bank? Because the dope boys had nothing to do with that bank. Right. Who am I going to blame? Who am I going to blame for? And that goes hand in hand. So now I'm trying to own a business, trying to start a business where I can actually hire those dope boys instead of having them dope boys be dope boys in the corner or stick up kids. Why? Because I'm gonna go right back into my community and then go in my community and say, hey, that stuff is bad. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that. Come work for me. I will pay you an honest wage. And you won't have to, you won't have to do what you're doing, because the reason why you're doing what you're doing is because there is no hope and no opportunity in your own in our community, in our neighborhoods. Why? Because they're pillaging and raping our resources and our ability to stand up on our own 2 feet. You know what I'm saying? Pick ourselves up by our bootstraps and keep it moving, right? Isn't that what they tell us to do? So who am I to blame? Who am I to blame? We had something called Black Wall Street, where Black communities, and it wasn't just one place, but we're going to take this one place in particular because everybody knows about this place. Black Wall Street was Tulsa, Oklahoma, which had our own airport. We had our own businesses. We had our own homes. We had our own doctors who actually came to our homes when we were sick. We had all this, and we were thriving, not surviving like we're doing now. We were thriving. A whole community of Black men and Black women thriving. And when was this? This was during the time of the Great Depression. A time where people all over the nation had to boil water and have that, put a little packet of ketchup and have that for dinner. That was their one meal for the day. And if they couldn't get that packet of water, or if they couldn't even they couldn't even have heat inside, they had to go out, chop a tree or something like that to make a fire. While that was going on in the US, we were thriving with our own community. What did they do to us? Was it a black man selling drugs that burned down Tulsa, Oklahoma? Nah. Was it a black stripper that went and destroyed our whole existence? That whole community? No. What was it? It was white supremacy. So don't sit there and tell me, stop blaming people who make laws. They come together and make laws to keep us down in this position. And when the laws, when we find ways to try and get in, seep in through the cracks, because it's not a floodgate, when we try and seep in through them cracks, they just overtly just break the law and say, we're going to do what the hell we want to do. Why? Because it's their system that's doing this. They put systems in place to keep us down, to keep us subservient. So don't sit up there and tell who am I supposed to blame? Who am I supposed to talk about? Who? I want you to tell me who. Why you doing that? I'm gonna tell you what the Most High God says about Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. And then we're gonna see what he says about the oppressor. Read what you got.
Come. Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art an holy people.
He's talking about Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. We are holy. Holy, which simply means separate. Keep going.
Come. Unto the Lord thy God.
We are separate unto the Most High God. You got everything else. He takes us from everything else, and he is over here, and he puts us with him. This is us, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, and that's them over there. You're not gonna put your wedding dress in a pile of dirty clothes that you done, you just painted the house with. You just painted the house, and you went out and mowed the lawn, and you was bringing the groceries in, and it was raining, and you slipped in some mud. You're gonna put your nice, clean wedding dress that is supposed to be separate and put out, and you only wear it on one occasion, but you keep it separate. You're gonna put that in the same pile with the dirty clothes that you done had in. No. This is the rest of the nation over here. This is us, most separate away from with the Most High God.
Right.
Keep going.
Come. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee.
So he chose us. It wasn't any other way around. He chose us. He said, you know what, this is special. I got several pairs of shoes, but this one particular pair of shoes I loved since I was 15 years old, and I wasn't able to get it then because I had no money. When I grew up and I actually had some change, I went out and got them. Not only did I went out and got them, I got two pairs of them, and I only wore them once. You know what I'm saying? I got two pair, and they're still in the box. You know what I'm saying? They are separate than the boots I put on to go to camp. They are separate. They are separate than I put on shoes to go and walk the dog. Then I go and take out the trash. They're separate. I chose those pair of shoes to be separate. It's not going to be the same from everything else. Keep going. So the Most High God chose us. Keep going.
Come. To be a special people.
He chose us to be special, a peculiar people. You know what I'm saying? Just look at any form of, it's easy to say this, any form of entertainment. It's us. We're dominating that. But how about any form of STEM? What is it? Science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Who sent Esau to the moon? Us. You know what I'm saying? Who made modern technology to where to where industries are made of? Us. You know who made the first video game? A black man.
That's right.
Now there's a whole industry on video games. You know who made the doggone stoplight?
Black man.
Cell phone, the GPS. How about the GPS?
Black woman.
I don't know if anybody, I'm a man of a certain age, and I remember getting around without a GPS.
Right. MapQuest.
Yeah, MapQuest. And look at that, and that was easy. Before that, you actually had to have a map.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You had to have a map. And if you was riding by yourself, traveling somewhere, you're gonna have to stop. Or do one of those and possibly crash in a ditch in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
And at that time, you didn't have cell phones. Cell phones. Come on now. He chose us to be a special people, peculiar. That's who we are. Anybody who drinks Jack Daniels can thank a black man for drinking that. Because that was a black man's recipe.
Uncle Nearest.
Keep reading.
It's like it's and finally Uncle Nearest has his own brand now.
I understand that, but Jack Daniels should be his brand.
Concert.
See, you see that how they admit it, but they're not giving him anything. You give him all right, so now he has to start from scratch. Right. When the whole Jack Daniels was his. Come. Keep going.
Come. Unto himself. I'll read that over, sir. Verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
Keep going.
Above.
Below.
Above.
Equal to.
Above.
Beside.
Above.
So he says above what?
All people.
Above who?
All people.
The Russians.
All people.
The Asians.
All people.
The Iraqis.
All people.
The Arabs.
All people.
The Mobutus and Mamambwes.
All people.
He says we are to be above all people. Keep reading, because it's not just that's above all people in your neighborhood or in your city or your country. But he says what? Above all people. Keep going.
That are upon the face of the earth.
So that's the entire planet. Just like I said, there's a bunch of people, but he took us out. He took us out of those people and separated us unto him. And he says we are above those people. Now, how can you say that that's racist? You mean to tell me this is God's word speaking right here? It's the Most High speaking. He's telling us that we are supposed to be above all people that are on the face of the earth. Now, if he says that about us, what is he saying about other people? Drop that and get me 2 Ezra 6:54.
Come. 2 Ezra chapter 6, verse 54. And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures.
So he's saying after these, Adam made Lord of all thy creatures. Everybody knows Adam, who Adam is in the Bible. But people think, Adam was, the only man on the face of the earth. But that's neither here nor there. He wasn't. He was the first person that got the truth.
Right.
That's who Adam was. He's the first person to get the truth. Keep going.
Come. Of him come we all.
So he's saying we all come from Adam. Now, what is that? Now, it may seem like I contradicted myself. I said Adam wasn't the first man, but how can I say that, we all come from Adam? Well, if you understand, you want to take a crack at it? Go ahead. Yeah.
Gossip. But this saying we all come from Adam is because of Noah.
How is that from Noah? What are you talking about, brother?
I'm talking about bloodline, sir.
Okay.
Bloodline, sir. Noah is a descendant of Adam.
Uh-huh. So what does Noah have to do with us coming from everybody?
It's because Noah, he built an ark.
Uh-huh.
And there was a great flood.
What that is?
Well, an ark is like a very, very large boat.
Okay, I'm listening.
All right. And there was a great flood.
Uh-huh.
It killed everybody that was not on the boat.
Oh, okay. So because everybody died,
except Noah,
uh-huh.
his 3 sons, Noah, his wife, his 3 sons, and their wives.
Okay. Okay, so because Noah is a descendant of Adam,
right?
And Noah and his family survived the flooding of the earth. So we all come from Noah, which Noah comes from Adam. Okay, I understand what you're saying. No sweat, no sweat. That's what he's saying when we all come from Adam. Right? So he's saying we all come from Adam. Keep going, and he's acknowledging that. Keep going.
And the people also whom thou hast chosen.
And the people who also thou hast chosen. Now we just read Deuteronomy 7:6, where the Most High God says he chosen thee. He has chosen us to be a special people unto himself, a holy people unto himself. So he chose us. So everybody comes from Adam, including the special people that the Most High God has chosen. Keep reading.
Come.
Now we all read how the Most High felt about the chosen people. He says we are above all the people that are upon the face of the earth. Right. Now he's talking about us, including everybody else. Keep reading.
Come. Verse 55. All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord.
Right.
Because thou madest the world for our sakes.
For who?
For our sake.
So just like the precept we read in Deuteronomy, we are to be a special people above all the people that's on the face of the earth. Above all the people. So the Most High made. So if we're above, that means everybody else is below. And if someone's below you, you're in charge of them. So he made the world for our sakes. Keep going.
Come. Verse 56. As for the other people.
Because he just said he made the earth for our sakes. As for everybody else.
Which also come of Adam.
They also come from Adam. Keep going.
Thou hast said that they are nothing.
Thou hast said that what?
That they are nothing.
Okay, read that from verse 55 again. One more time.
Come. Verse 55. All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes.
Made the world for our sakes. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. He made the world for our sakes. Nobody else's. Keep going.
Come. Verse 56. As for the other people.
Everybody else.
Which also come of Adam.
Everybody else comes from Adam. Keep going.
Thou hast said that they are nothing.
The Russians are what?
Nothing.
The Ukrainians are what?
Nothing.
The Arabs are what?
Nothing.
The Syrians are what?
Nothing.
What else? The Nigerians are what?
Nothing.
The Libyans?
Nothing.
The Ethiopians?
Nothing.
Let's see. The Japanese?
Nothing.
The Chinese?
Nothing.
The Koreans?
Nothing.
The Filipinos?
Nothing.
The Spanish?
Nothing.
The Ashkenazi?
Nothing.
The South Africans?
Nothing.
The Eritreans?
Nothing.
Let's see. Let me see if people know who these nations. The Lithuanians.
Nothing.
The Romanians.
Nothing.
Now I'll just name the Swedish.
Nothing.
The Icelandic.
Nothing.
He says that they are nothing. They are absolutely, unequivocally nothing. The Hawaiians.
Nothing.
He says they are nothing. Not only does he say they are nothing, he elaborates. Because, if you say they're nothing, like, okay, all right. But now he's going to elaborate. How else does he feel about these other nations? Keep reading.
Come. But be like unto spittle.
He says, be like unto spittle. Officer Kazak, he made this perfectly. He said this perfectly. Everybody has seen them Boosie videos. When Boosie gets on one and he has spittle, the white crap that's on the side of his mouth when he just keep going and going and going. That's what the Most High God is likening to the other nations. He says those other nations are like that spittle that flies out your mouth when you're speaking. Keep going, because that's not all.
And has likened the abundance of them.
So he says he likened the abundance of them. Everything that they have contributed to the face of the planet. Everything that, you know, their Buddhist ideology, their Indian culture, all their so-called knowledge and his history, he's liking, and all their contributions, whether it's being science or anything, everything, the abundance of them, he likens them unto what?
Liken the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel. So
he says, if I'm carrying a bucket of water and I'm going to feed the horses, and I got a big old bucket of water, and I'm walking, and some drops. He says the abundance of you all these other nations is like that drop of the bucket. I don't give a goddamn because I got a whole big bucket of it. It's dropping, so what? Who cares? That's how the way the Most High God feels about these other nations. You're nothing. You're like spit, or and the abundance of you is like a drop that falls from a bucket. Now you tell me, we're all supposed to listen to follow what the Most High God says. You tell me, the Most High God tells us that we are above every nation that's on the face of this earth, and everybody else is nothing. They are made to serve you.
Right.
How am I racist? How, Sway? How? Because you ain't got the answers. You don't know what the hell you talking about. I'm willing to bet you ain't even know that was in the Bible. Them two scriptures that I pulled, you didn't even know that was in the Bible. It looked like they got something to say. Anybody got something to say?
Concert, we have smoke. Albert of Abayev. It's Abayeb. Abayev. He says, you don't know what you're talking about. You're talking nonsense. That's why you only have 4 viewers. But we got way more than 4 viewers.
He must be one of the nations that are like spittle.
Damn right.
That's why he's mad. He must not be one of the nations called Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian. And I understand why you're mad. No sweat. If I was one of them other nations, it probably sound like you probably, it smells like you ham. I could be wrong. But if I was one of the other nations, I would totally get why you would think that I don't know what I'm talking about, because I just read scripture. I just read scripture. He just said the nation that he chose is separate from the nations that he did not choose, and all those other nations are like spit. How do I not know what I'm talking about? How do I not know when it says that in Deuteronomy 7:6 that you are the special people and you are above every single nation that is on the face of the earth? How do I not know what I'm talking about? I know how to read. Moreover, I know how to comprehend.
That's right.
So whoever you is, you don't know what the hell you talking about. Anything else?
Wow, sir.
That's it?
We're clear.
And with that, I pass the class over to Priest and Officer Pagagawa. Come on up.
Shalom. This is I.S.U.P.K. security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K. out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yahanna. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which a brother or sister will court each other. After the 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21, and the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. It means tenth in Hebrew and is pronounced ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, you give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming holy convocation is Purim, the 14th day and the 15th day of the 12th month, Sunday, the 5th of March, and Monday, the 6th of March, 2023. You can find this in the book of Esther, chapter 9, verses 20 through 31. Remind Akim and Akwathian to check on social media, such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, you should start wearing all black, which includes black boots, black shirts, black pants, black headband, or scarf. With that, I say Imadium, which means to stand. Wapanya Hakudam, which means turn and face the east. We're going to read the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanaw, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malak with Ka, Taba'ah, Ratazak, Hayah, Aisha, Ba'aratazah, Kawa, Hayah, Bashemayim, Nathan Lanawa, Lakam, Ka, Yawam, Wasalak Lanawa, Kabawaf Nawa, Kasalak Nawa, Kabawaf Yanawa, Wala'ah, Taba'ah Yanawa, Banasaya Wan, Abal, Hawashai Nawa, Mayam, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha'ala, Wahatapar, La'ai Walamya, Dawada Aman.
And in English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth, as in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not. Into temptation. But deliver us. From evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it. Say Sar, which means to turn. Men of Israel, we'll give one courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Imadium Shabbat, Imadium, Barak, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakatah. Yahweh Matah, class dismissed.